your adjustments generally to surprise your opponents is you throw that curveball on the 18 or on the 22 picks, so the last picks of second and third phase respectively. I'm curious to see. Obviously, LGD today showed that they're not scared of pulling out something new, but for now, it is very stable and staying true to what have got them this far. The Shaker is in the game, so Yapsor thinks OG will win this game.
Yeah, there's that prediction.
Regardless of what happens. One thing LGD did against the Shaker when they played OG the last time was that they picked the FY Clockwork, who played an outstanding game.
Yes.
He was playing against both of these heroes, as a matter of fact, and we'll see if they do grab it again. They did end up losing that game, but FY was exceptionally good.
I mean, that was like a perfect Clockwork game. They had Partner, they have Shaker, they have like Bane, they have all these like weak heroes that Clockwork could easily kill. And it speaks a lot about a Storm Spirit.
Yeah, Storm Spirit's second pick.
Very early.
Wow.
Well, else, if you're Somnus and you want to play this hero, I think in the series, this is when you got to grab it. The teams are banning it second phase against him.
Yeah, and this hero has some similarities with the Clockwork, with how you deal with the Shaker, because when you're playing against a Shaker, you always want to be able to get to him. You kill him, you need to take him out first, or you risk the fact that in the fights, anytime a big Echo could actually just wipe your entire team off, and Storm is one of the best heroes at doing that.
There are a lot of heroes that Thompson is good against with Storm Spirit. The heroes that I see from Thompson already is Invoker, which is banned out, and there's Monkey King, and also don't forget about it with Skyrest Mage. Thompson's the crazy with that hero. I haven't seen that hero in this tournament from him yet, but when you see that hero,
that's the kind of pick that is the kind of pick that OG could go for. In this
and we did see that being banned against OG the last time they met when Storm Spirit was picked. So obviously PSG LGD well aware of that. We'll see if they use one of their bans for it.
There's another reason that Storm is really good against Spectre, in my opinion, is the nature of how teams end up using the map when they have Spectre. It's a lot of this, you go together as four, and Spectre plays on the opposite side of the map, joins the fights with Haunt. But when you have Storm, you have this hero that, when it's missing, feels like it can solo kill the Spectre in any lane. So it kind of passively just limits Spectre's ability to find farm, and she has to play very carefully, maybe only farming with Spectral Dagger instead of committing to creep waves, and just delaying that timing of Ana could prove to be really important for LGD in this game number one.
I mean, adding to that, I think when Spectre is faced in that situation, you kind of can't be too greedy with rushing the Radiance. You have to build like maybe a defensive item that allows you to sort of like semi-survive the ganks and maybe farm a lot more. So I think that would be the adjustment that the Spectre can make this game.
Skyreth Mage ban.
Yep, there we go. Comes out once again. PSG LGD very aware of what Thompson is capable of. The last time they also ended up banning out the Monkey King in the last phase as well.
So I guess a safe pick for the OG side is maybe the Lina. Lina is pretty good against Enchantress and Storm overall. And because they also have the last pick, right? So it can also be swapped out with Jerax. But actually Jerax is playing most likely the Earthshaker, right?
Yes, I think Jerax will be put on this Earthshaker. And I think what OG will do is they will pick No-Tail, his hero now, looking for something like perhaps the Bane to come out from him in this situation. A lot of his heroes have been banned. And the reason is, even if Lina is good, I think you want to conceal the mid pick. You already know the mid matchup. This Storm will be going mid for Somnus like 99%, unless he's absolutely forced away from the lane. So if you can get a little better read on seeing perhaps one extra core or one key support, it's unless No-Tail sees a fantastic option for him to save his support for later, I do think we will see him grab it now. He doesn't look too confident right now, though.
Don't think he expected the Storm.
No, I think that caught them off guard. You saw Jerax chuckle a little bit when it happened, though. So.
I mean, they do have like a lot of lockdown for him, so it's not like, oh, Storm is picked and we don't have really enough stuns to deal with him. And we see in the second phase ban, OG decides to take out the Terrorblade and the Undying. Those are the two heroes that are much, much better against the Spectre. So to create a situation where Spectre is the strongest hero in the game.
But I also want to, like, there's Storm Spirit is a problem as well, but I think it's very important to make Enchantress useless somewhat. Winter Wyvern is okay.
I personally love playing this matchup as Enchantress in lane. I feel like Wyvern doesn't do very much to you. You have the Arctic Burn or the Splinter Blast, but Enchantress's biggest strength as a hero is just sustaining harass.
Could it be like a misleading hero? Like it might be the off lane. Yeah, it could be an off lane. And we've seen OG done this in the third pick multiple times. They pick a hero. Wait, you look at the hero. This hero is going mid. Why are they picking this hero so early? And then at the end of the drop, okay, it's not actually a mid hero, and you pick the counter towards the lane, and you end up in a bad matchup.
It's one of OG's special flex picks, I would say. It's only OG and I believe Serenity that ran this in a position 3. I think Serenity played on Jin Q earlier in the tournament, but Yeah, it gives OG more team fight for sure. I personally hate playing Wyvern against Storm.
Yes, me
it's
too.
It's a really terrible matchup. But perhaps if they do put it in the core role and get some items, it could be able to survive with something like a Glimmer Cape 4 staff build. But as a position 5 and how No-Till plays for this team, if he does end up playing this Wyvern, I feel like he's going to have a really hard time having a good performance in this game.
I have a feeling it's not his hero because so far...
I do as well.
Yeah, because so far the way I observe they run the system, No-Till has been taking the hero that takes very little amount of farm. So I don't think he will be on the Wyvern, but obviously it's still quite open for that in the draft.
For me, at the same time, I kind of like the Winter Wyvern against the Storm because it is a lockdown, and then you have a follow-up stun with the Earthshaker where you can lock down the Storm Spirit in that sense, and then of course, Winter Wyvern is very bad against Enchantress, but because the pure damage goes through him. But
there we go.
Oh wow! Okay, so not leaving it to be banned in the last phase, securing that.
And Winter Wyvern, and then Monkey King being a good combo together, where Winter Wyvern just uses Curse, and then Monkey King can just kind of go up there and use his ulti, right?
Look at their team fights, insane. They have the Wyvern ult, the Wukong's command, Earthshaker ultimate, and the Spectre ultimate.
This game for LGD already, I think when you game plan for this, you identify, okay, we're not going to win 5-on-5 fights unless we get the jump. Ideally, we want to dominate the lanes and split up the map, and when OG try to find farm, that's when our Storm Spirit can shine, because it is very difficult to team fight into this. But looking at how maybe has been, or Somnus has been playing the Storm Spirit in general, I think this is the kind of game that you don't go Bloodstone in. I think you want a fast Orchid here, so you can single out that key target in the Wyvern or the Shaker for now, that you just jump, control, and get the first kill on. Because if you go for the greedier Storm Spirit build with the Kaya into Bloodstone, do you actually have the control and the damage to not just get counterplayed way too hard by OG's supports?
Yeah, I agree. I think they have to kind of like play more conservative. They have to try to, buy items that will allow them to create space to drag the game. That's why they won as a Storm. So this Elder Titan is going to buff up a lot of the magic damage that the Storm and CM is going to be doing. Does give them some sort of like team fight.
It gives them disengage, I would say. That if there is this curse play into Monkey King ulti, it's really good to, if you can just land this stomp from Elder Titan and just disengage. If OG use their cooldowns and don't find kills, their lineup is actually really weak afterwards. So the first jump and the first move needs to be successful. And maybe this is the logic from LGD here. We can bait out cooldowns, delay the fight. Our Storm Spirit will be able to clean them up one by one.
So kind of like the Naga sleep, essentially.
In a way, yes.
With that Elder Titan, I'm thinking about maybe Void to finish their lineup. I know we've not seen that hero a lot, but Void does work really well with the CM and the ET, and on top of things, they have the Enchantress to hit outside the Chronosphere. It's a hero that I think maybe, Army has played in the past, and I know he likes playing heroes that are very, very strong in the late game.
I generally am not the biggest fan of Void together with Storm. The logic is obviously you Chrono and Storm jump someone else, but a lot of the times in games you find yourself in this situation where it's a great Chrono and Storm can't follow up. So at the very least they would have the Enchantress to deal damage in the Chronosphere, so I think it's still a good enough game for it. But part of the reason we haven't seen Void very much in this tournament is that he is not a very strong laner. He doesn't put very much pressure and has a lot of bad matchups. And you would be picking it blindly here because you still don't know if the Wyvern is a 3 or a 5. And now they'll get a much safer pick.
OG's lineup here.
But isn't like all of the Berserker and the Storm, how is this going? What's the plan here? So they're gonna try to split, because this hero doesn't really provide too much team fight. He's more of also like what you said, like they have to try and split up, try to get a pick off here and there, until he gets a lot more items. Like
just blood rage the Storm and have it jump people. It's pretty good.
5 seconds.
So pretty much if you look at their lineup, it's basically all around the Storm. They have the CM aura, they have the ET aura, and the Blood Rage for the Storm. Everything is so that maybe please carry us this game.
I mean, picking it that early, it seems like they were kind of committed to them from the get-go, right? They just didn't want to take any risk of losing it. They had a plan. It seems like PSG LGD might be the one that's going in with a game plan they already had for game one, whereas OG is kind of adapting to it as the draft goes on.
Bloodseeker has, I would say he has a really good matchup against Spectre, because that as a carry is very mobility dependent in fights. If you get the Rupture on Spectre or on the Monkey King, both of these targets want to move in fights. As Monkey King, sure, you can drop your ulti and stay in the ring, but if you just stand still and the fight disengages from the ring, you don't really bring much to it. There is a surprise pick.
Is that Seb here?
Is it Seb or... I think it's a position 5 for No-Till, but it could be either. Let's see what they do.
All right, well, there is the draft. We have all 10 heroes locked in for this game one between PSG, LGD, and OG. We have a couple of surprises coming in. Well, we'll have a chance to hear from one of the coaches. It sounds like Casey's out there, but pass her out.
I found him. All right. You got your pick?
Yeah, there are 4 this time.
4 this time?
Yeah, yes, I wanted 1, but he didn't want in the boot, so he tricked me.
You've been tricked.
Yeah, well, he's going to use it later. It's okay. So the draft is fine. I mean, the team is happy with what we picked. I have no story today because I slept like a few hours.
Well, you've been preparing for a little something we call the grand final, so...
Not because of that. I mean, the last 2 days were like filled with emotions and weird feelings, you know. And we tried to sleep, but at least me and Johan, I know for sure because we're in the same room. And it's hard, you know. You try to go to sleep and you just can't, and then it's morning, and then you have to play to do stuff. Yeah.
Are you feeling pretty confident based on the draft we just saw?
Yeah. I'm very confident when all the players like agree on the draft and they're like happy. Because it's like it's about teamwork, and even if, let's just say, we are a little bit outdrafted, it doesn't matter that much because we showed like many times that we are like chill, we do the proper plays. Seb is like making all the team be okay, not to go like emotional and stuff. So yeah, I am confident in them.
Everything this year, we're stepping it up, we're making it bigger and better. We've got Ben Wu here, ladies and gentlemen, as we get into game one of OG versus PSG LGD. And lads, we couldn't have hoped for a more perfect draft from both lineups. We've got the Sun, the Storm Spirit on one side, and then on the other side we have OG doing it in their own style. This sort of style, this draft style that we're seeing no one else do here at this international, but it's been working out for them.
I'm just happy we have some nice late game drafts that could potentially play out, right? We've got the Storm Spirit on Somnus that can go super late. We've got the Spectre as well. Really looking forward to it. And also the team fights coming into play. OG has drafted a massive team fight lineup.
And yesterday's series was one of the most exciting series I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I've watched a lot of TIs, you know. Last time OG Acid,
it was back at the Boston Major. Everyone remembers OG versus Adfin, and let's hope we get some games on a similar caliber, and I'm sure we will from what we've seen on the series running up to this one.
So Ben, you've been watching a lot of Dota lately?
Yes.
Caught up?
Especially.
Yeah. How about with this? What do you think of this Seb tree in off lane?
There's a lot of heroes that we've seen Seb play. I actually took it more, I think. I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Oh, what do you think? What is it about the tree, and do you think that Seb sort of sees in it as a hero that other teams aren't really at the moment?
He plays at a lot of just lane pressure. I think the last time we saw him play, he didn't go the Nature's guys. He actually goes for just having the Leech Seed as well as the Living Armor to help his lanes. Jerax. Just not quite there.
Not going to get it this time, but a good shot there for Jerax. Didn't want to try and lane down the Fisher just in case they were on it and have the micro ready.
So right off the bat, we see LGD. They want to be able to dodge and adjust away from OG's lane. So they want to protect their Bloodseeker in particular, and also having against that Spectre and away from the Tree Protector. Same thing in that mid lane. They don't want the Monkey King versus Storm matchup, so they're putting Chalice there, which is a much better matchup. He can do great versus them.
It will be interesting to see how well Thompson plays it. As you could imagine, this hero that we know, he plays in all his pubs. He's been bringing it out here time and time again at the International. You can imagine he's probably played his fair share of matchups, so should be used to the Enchantress, and we'll see how well he can do here, as he has had some incredible games recently on the last couple of days here at the International.
Yeah, Monkey King's not the most super popular in the mid lane, but Thompson, you know, he plays all those weird ones, and he plays them just to the point where you can pick it despite it not being top tier.
Yeah. Hero that we have not seen win a whole lot though, right Owen? I think me and you saw at least 2 or 3 that did not have a good game.
It's one of those heroes that can absolutely sort of crush the mid game, get this insane amount of kills, and indeed they're going for the kill. He's blocked in by Jerax's Vicious. Somnus trying to lay down the remnants. Seb's got to be careful. Has to step away to make sure he doesn't get caught out by the stomp.
Pretty scary. very lane for OG up here. The Earthshaker's well trained, just these two melee heroes versus Elder Titan and Storm. They love playing versus melees. If you get into range, you just can get stomped up, and also, of course, that static remnant damage.
The Train Protector might force these cores on LGD to go for something different, though. The root against the Enchantress and the Storm Spirit, you don't really want to build Yules or any sort of Dispel, but you might have to versus double.
Yeah, that's a good point. I've seen like Somnus, I'm pretty sure I've seen him do the Kaya into Yule's build from time to time, but it's pretty rare. It depends on really that matchup.
Yeah, I know the panel was talking about him rushing early working, but it might be very dangerous doing that.
Yeah.
We can certainly expect to see it sort of play a little differently, as we say, being in the safe lane rather than the mid lane. Something that we have seen a few of the Chinese teams start to do this. TI.
I really like Sin's point that he was bringing up on the panel, how he was saying, like, you look at OG's draft and it's a lot about just that wombo combo. If LGD are able to disengage once they get to that point, I think it's going to be really important for them in the mid game. Because like, if they throw all their ultis out and LGD just walks out of it, then all of, like, majority of OG's damage is kind of committed forward there.
Do you think a lot of pressure's on this Elder Titan to break up that team fight combo that OG has?
Yeah, definitely. Because they also have some good combo synergy that can come out too. If they do live that, they have like this damage that can just build up more and more. Because Storm Spirit, if you don't get caught in that initial combo, you can take out all these heroes. You're relying so much on the Earthshaker as well as Train Protector controlling that Storm.
Well, so far, looking at all the lanes, no one really falling behind. Steps at the bottom of the CS, but still the big one, certainly that mid lane. As we were saying, you'd expect the Ench to maybe come out on top, but I think this is just Thompson showing us how well he can play the Monkey King in a variety of matchups, as he's leading the CS by quite a bit at the moment in that 1v1 mid.
Yeah. Haven't seen how much he's spent on cells yet, though. Certainly getting harassed much more than Shadows.
It's fairly even in net worth, yeah, so he has been bringing out a couple extras, but he's also getting benefited from the living armor. So like we were saying, Seb on the Train Protector doesn't go the Nature's guys, he helps on top, that's not connects.
They've got the setup, they've got the remnants down, and LGD looking for first, but they'll find it. FY cleans it up. I'll turn towards Jerry's giving him a quick push as he has to back away. Bottom lane at the same time, Ame trying to chase down Big Daddy. He gets the cold embrace off with the use of that mango. Anna starting to punch into Ame, forcing the Bloodseeker back. Nova with the Nova, can he find it here? Big Daddy No-Tail goes down. Can Anna get the trade? Chasing down the CMX. Nova, is he speeding up? He's running, but the dagger's back up. Anna will find the trade. As he get the 1-for-1 down on the bottom lane. Of course, Anna getting that kill. 17 for 3 at the moment on the Spectre. He's certainly struggling a little bit, but he's still getting a fair bit out of that bottom lane.
He's having to spend extra on regen too. But on both sides there, it's a lot of a spam matchup down in bottom. They have the Wyvern as well versus that CM. With just constant harassment with spells.
That's definitely where we're sort of seeing that slight 1k advantage for LGD, as you say. It's the expenditure of the cores of OG on that early regen.
So do you need to build any items on the Enchantress to deal with the crit from the Monkey King? Because she doesn't have that much armor in. That King move is going to hurt really bad. I've seen a lot of Enchantresses get almost 2-shot by Monkey Kings if they're able to build up the stacks.
Yeah, that's a good point. The killer gives you a tiny little bit, but I think maybe we could see something just maybe like a medallion, maybe some casual just armor item like that.
I feel like sometimes when we've seen that matchup, like down the line, obviously in the later stages of the game, we can expect like an Eon Disc to come out in the Enchantress, perhaps. Maybe even on a few of these heroes to sort of help protect them against that huge physical burst that Thompson's going to have later on.
I think one of the important things for the Enchantress is, I mean, it's an item that you tend to get a lot in the Ench, but versus Monkey King, it's like the best, the Hurricane Pike, because you can actually mess with his interaction with his ulti a lot and just keep that distance away. So it might be some type of item rush like that just to keep that distance.
We'll see top lane Somnus, 29 for 5 at the moment against Seb's 17 for 5, so definitely the lane where we're seeing the biggest difference between both sides, as they're keeping a good hold of it up top, PSG LGD.
They have so much freedom in this because they have their CM auras who constantly able to spam that scan.
The courier gang coming in as Thompson ready to strike, but Somnus and FY, as you say, they're backing up. They're keeping it safe behind the tier 1 tower. No-Tail will show himself mid as he comes in to sap up some of the XP and help with the D-push. The Chalice is getting a fair bit of damage onto this tier 1 mid.
They're swapping up the lanes. They want to have that Monkey King versus Storm before he hits 6. And Thompson is actually saving skill points, which is kind of cool on the Monkey King. 2-0-2. Will choose what he needs to commit for it after his bottom.
Ame's just diving in! And he gets away with it as Anna was all on his lonesome there. No support backup there at the moment, of course, with the movements from OG supports to other lanes.
LGD just they had that scan, they knew where the Monkey King was going, and then they had a TP, Wyvern mid, and as soon as they saw that happening, took advantage of it and on the bottom.
I don't think they can leave Anna alone like that almost ever.
Really versus any of the heroes that decides to lower unless some weak support, but one of the dangers of first phasing the spec.
Yeah, definitely gonna get punished.
They're gonna make a go on FY. They've got the Fisher out. Anna and Thompson closing in on him as FY will try and gets a fair bit of damage out on the Jerax, but not enough to bring him down with it. As FY will fall. And still overall, PSG LGD just having that sort of lane control across the map that a little bit stronger as they lead 2K mid lane. Sure, Seb's trying his best to keep this tower alive, but each siege is going lower and lower. Top lane, Thompson gets in, is able to punish Somnus. Gets the burst down onto the Storm Spirit. We have the rupture onto Anna. Anna getting himself away from the tower, but Ame is there ready to chase down and will find Anna in return.
Great read by Ame. He already knew that.
Oh, and Chalice.
Wow.
That sort of movement from the middle lane to the top lane from Thompson, sure, it did find the kill on Somnus at the end of the day, but it's really opened up that middle for Chalice, as we're seeing as Thompson. He has got the Jingle Mastery stacked up, jumps down, the Fisher's there, he's got the light still, but it's not enough. Ame with the blood right, bursts down Thompson, but still back up to hell.
They're trying so hard to keep this mid tower alive. They just keep rotating heroes and to make sure that they can keep the living armor going on it, but Chalice really trying to press the issue.
Yeah, Seth isn't high enough level despite being the offlaner to really keep this tower alive. He did actually go for his third point in living armor, but Enchantress is gonna sit there, try and get those wagons up as you can with that Blightstone. Still pretty healthy though.
As long as they can keep these towers alive, they can certainly play into sort of the hands of the late game Spectre that they do own with Anna. We've seen it time and time before here from OG on the main stage. In games, even where they get fairly far behind in the mid game, as long as they can keep the game going, there's a high chance that the Spectre's going to be able to do some incredible things in the team fights.
There's smoke from Wyvern trying to get some boards out, but don't know if he's going to get it broken.
Not spotted, but smoke broken. So the one thing I look at LGD's draft, if we do get to those later stages, they do have good amp damage. FY caught very deep in there.
X-Nova's going to come across and look to help out. He's got the Frostbite holding Thompson as FY still backs up. Jerax comes in with the TP. Thompson starts to turn towards Challenge for the untouchable means he can't go for it. Goes straight for the TP out. He's actually catch out Thompson. Back towards the middle lane. Anna with the horn joining in, looking towards Ame. But Ame, he's too fast with how low OG's members are. Seb getting beaten down by Chalice. Did he take a second? Anna, can he find anything to turn? He's got to be careful. That's on the interest of Chalice adding up.
Thirst. What an ability. Giving you vision on that tree line there if that Spectre gets low.
And you can see them, they're still trying to fog them, but it's not doing them any good at this point. This game's going a little bit too fast, I would say, for OG's pace. They want more time for the Spectre and the Monkey King to get items and the Tree to just kind of hold off their T1s. At the very least, this T1 is still up for OG. So they are losing heroes, but not their T1s.
Yeah, I mean, this Bloodseeker and Enchantress are getting away with way too much right now. The Storm, sure, getting shut down a little bit, but those other two are a big problem right now for OG. How are we doing on levels? So we do have a couple level 6s coming online. Pretty much almost all but OG except for Jerax, while on the side of LGD, they do have two level 5s on their support still. And we see for those rotations coming out with all those ults. Nice. Seb will be going for the medium.
So the setup onto Seb. Leads in with the rupture. Seb. He's the trees ego, still pretty high on health at the moment. F1 gets the Echo Stomp out. The ult from Seb being used to hold back Ame temporarily, and this is buying time for the rest of OG's coming in. No Tail from the side. Chalice with the Image trying to finish off Seb. The Winter's Curse will hold back the two of them. So No Tail makes sure that Seb can get back to safety. You get away from this reaction from LGD.
That's two full defensive ultis used by OG though to protect themselves. Is top pressure on Anna.
The wraparound from X-Nova. He's got the box play onto Anna. Cancel the suffer of the damage. He's ball charging up, so he has that extra bit of mana. To take down Anna. Again, Anna sort of being caught out in these situations where OG supports her elsewhere. Bottom lane F5 goes with the stomp, but Army's backing up. He knows Jerax is in. Jerax leading with the Fisher. Thompson looking to chase him up with the Primal Spring. He's got the boundless strike down. Isn't enough control to allow the rest of the team to come through. Blood right from Army, trying to push OG away from chasing for the kill, and he'll be successful as OG back off. Army will stay safe.
LGD is heavily outmaneuvering OG right now. They're splitting them up all over the place. They're making plays on each of the lanes, so it's forcing OG to react, and then it's making Ana very weak in this laning phase, unable to really find a place for him to actually catch back up.
I do think No-Tail's been doing a really good job of being in the right place at the right time to stall these pushes, make sure the T1s don't take that much damage. Yeah, they're still giving him a few kills down there, but I think it could be a lot worse if he were just a few seconds later to these engagements.
It's a bit of a Rassi onto Chalice, unlikely. Between the two of these heroes, they have the damage to bring him down at the moment, especially with X-Nova around. Jerax has got to be careful. Takes a bit of heavy damage there from the impetus. Does also have Seb in the tree line. They're going to try and set up, but they're walking with the Echo Slam. Do they have the burst? Dana comes in with the Spectral Dagger. Is it enough though? Chalice, he's got the untouchable. Is he going to survive? He's in with the ult. They get the kill. X-Nova, that was going to be cancelled straight away by Jarek with the Fisher. X-Nova tries to TP out, but OG, they'll set up for the double kill. They get the kills in the middle lane.
And Thompson gets a kill down bottom on the other Titan.
And that lead that LGD had, it's been knocked down by a couple of thousand here. Just a 3k advantage for PSG LGD now after that fight.
Chalice feeling himself just a little bit too much there, right? Just walking into it.
It looked like he was going to get away.
I mean, they did commit pretty heavily for that. Definitely worth it at this point.
Look at that money. Somnus cleaning up a hefty stack here that's going to give him a big jump towards that Kaya.
They've been using that stack FY, you know, the Elder Titan that we talk about so much. That's how you really enable that hero in the laning phase. Just stack up that hard camp, use it for your spirit, and they have the Storm to farm it.
Thompson's been doing a pretty good job of keeping it network too, because he's kind of the one that has to run around and make a little bit of space for the Spectre so he can hunt and get some kills, but he's still number 2.
He's very close to having the full Echo Saber done, so he's going to almost be sort of guaranteed to get up the Jingu Mastery stacks in each of the fights and get that burst heal off with the Boundless Strike.
I think that's just like the best build that you can go now in the Monkey King, so you can just get involved all the time. All the other builds we've seen, the Battle Fury, it's very slow. I mean, that's not the meta at the moment.
Especially when you have a Spectre.
Yeah, especially with that.
So they can chill for a little bit, wait for the ultimates to come up. I would say OG are way more ultimate based, so you know you want to fight those 2-minute rotations and just use Winter Wyvern and your Treant to stall out those T1s until those ultimates are up. And if they don't want to fight, you're okay with farming because I think you have the better late game right now.
It's tier 1 mid, pretty much back up to full. The power of the Treant Protector.
That was down to like 100 HP at one point from that 5-minute wave.
They threw it out of bodies.
Yeah. Worth it. Definitely worth it. That tower is, we say, like the most important tower to defend, especially when you're playing with the Spectre lineup, so you can farm your jungle, have access.
PSG LGD wanting to make a move up here though. Scan out in the trees. They know that No-Tail's in. But he's one of the trickier kills to get with the Arctic Burners. He just starts to retreat. Nova looking to come across. But he's already backed by the tier 2 tower. No-Tail will be fine. As PSG LGD desperate to sort of make a play around here as they have those 3 observer boards down. Do see him actually as No-Tail sort of comes back in actually as the Arctic Burn ends. They're still very hesitant though. The Winter's Curse out on the side. Jerax. Can he set up onto FY? He's got the Enchant Totem. Chalice is coming in though. OG have to be careful as the impetus starts flying out towards the Earthshaker. Jerax taking a lot of damage here. They try with the Earth Splitter, but it won't quite catch him. The heal there from No-Tail with the Cold Embrace, keeping Jerax safe as well.
They're just trying to stall these towers as long as possible. But on a bottom,
Zona splitters it in there, Kylan. Burst down the Spectre before he's able to TP away. At the same time, OG want to make a play down top. They know that they went for the play down bottom PSG LGD, so OG want to punish this. They jump forward, Boundless Strike, Echo Snap on top of the charges, but Chalice's healing is not enough. The Wukong's command finishes it. He can't out-heal that amount of damage. Army has turned up to the fight. On the side, Thompson cleans up a second. Double kill for the Monkey King as he finds X-Nova on the Crystal Maiden.
They have surprisingly good catch on the side of OG. I wasn't able to expect them to get that many kills, but they're really good at sending it with the Wukong's command.
Lungs it.
Awesomeness. In he goes. Onto Jerax. The Cold Embrace there from No-Tail though. Thompson with the Boundless Strike holding back Summers. They've got the Enchant Totem. They've got good control for the sleep from FY. To the side, looks to Jerax. The fish is down, but No-Tail sort of blocks it with FY. They're still going to get Summers went too deep. He gets punished. The horn play from Anna finding one, maybe even more. It's FY. He's been surrounded. The Stomp, sleep onto 2. Seb's coming in as well though, so FY. He'll have to retreat. PSG can't take this fight without Chalice, or maybe they can. Chalice has turned up as well on the Enchantress. The Seb ult, holding the 2 of them back. Anna and Jerax backing away. Seb is being looked at by Army and Chalice. He'll go for the TPR in the pit.
He'll be safe.
And they can't cancel this. They get out. PSG LGD still maintaining the lead. They're trying to chase down Anna. And they've got it. They didn't expect the CM to be there, OG.
He was actually on a warding expedition and just comes around from the back. All right, they see the line was joined instantly by Jerax. He's like, wait, what the hell is CM doing there?
Perfect position indeed for X-Nova to find himself in. Thompson build-wise going for the Maelstrom next, helping him keep up with the farm that, as we've said earlier, a good job of keeping up with the pace of Somnus and Arme.
So they're unable to kind of kill the Monkey King and the Spectre. They just generally get one Horde on these fights, which they getting there.
He's trying to get the life steal up. He does get it. Can he find the connection? Somnus is actually out of mana. Thompson walks out of range off the stop. He's turning to Somnus. One more hit will do, but he can't quite get in range. FY's there with the block off. As Thompson won't find the kill onto the storm. He may find FY. He's got the boundless strike up in 5 seconds. Into the tree he goes. Arme's TPing in. Thompson, he's in. He's going with the boundless strike. The Wukong's the back of a Jarex with the vision. They're onto Arme. Arme's gone. Thompson with the tree play as Jarex is still there looking to do X-Nova. Chalice is coming with the impetus. Thompson in trouble. He's been silenced. He's been surrounded. Somnus zips in with the vortex for Winter's Curse. And there, surely they can't keep Thompson alive. They can't. Thompson will fall. Somnus sipping for more. He's got his eyes on No-Tail. No-Tail tries with the golden embrace, but the remnant magical damage is there. PSG LGD get the 2 of them at the end of the day.
They're responding so quickly. They know that OG's draft is just very ulti dependent. They're just keeping the moves going. As soon as those ultis come out, they don't care. They just bring more and more numbers. But they know that Ana doesn't want to get involved in too many of these fights. If he doesn't have Haunt up, there's no way he's going to come.
So I think Thompson made way more out of that situation than he could have. Almost killed Mamie. And still, he got a core kill at the end of the day.
He did. And they've got the blink on the Earthshaker.
So that sort of combos we saw there was already pretty impressive with Jarex just being able to offer the lockdown of the Fisher from outside the Wukong's command. Now he can actually get in there, offer that increased amount of chain stun that will allow time for the Wukong's command and Thompson as the Monkey King to get his damage out in the team fights.
My slight concern for OG is that they don't have these 3 cores that are farming. Because you see the Train Protector, he's actually almost same net worth as the other Titan. So it's going to be like Jarex who has to really pull it up and just get a little bit more of that gold for his team. They're really dependent on
seeing the full strength of their team fight though. They have the Root and the Wukong's command. If both of those come out when he has some stacks up, it's going to be really nasty for LGD before they get their BKBs.
And they have good ways to set it up, right? They have the Winter's Curse and the Tree and ulti, so.
Right now it's usually 4 of them fighting, 1 of them farming, and then someone else dies and kind of repeat, but sooner or later they're going to have to move up.
Well, they're hunting for Ana. X-Nova goes for the vision. Somnus zips in. The Horn will be popped down as out of days. Jumped over towards the mid lane, but Chalice is there as well as Arme. The rupture, the impetus. A boundless strike comes out, but it won't save it for the blood right. Arme gets the kill on the Spectre. Ana down for 30 seconds. OG still hovering around that middle lane.
Ana's been incredibly good at finding farming Spectres throughout this tournament, but this game, LGD are even better at shutting
Jarex.
Yeah.
He's looking for the setup opportunity. As you drop, Echo, Fisher, bam! They get Chalice, he's out of the picture. There's the Blink Dagger reveal from Jarex, and he gets a big core kill.
Radiant's top tower is under
Chalice has been the punching bag for LGD, but at the same time, Storm, what is he going for? Orchid?
He's going for the Orchid after Kaya. Not going for any type of defense. He's going to depend on his teammates to try to really bail him out of the situations, in particular FY, as the panel had mentioned, for that disengage.
is under attack.
But yeah, I wish I could just count all the ultis that Chalice has eaten already in this game, and it's only 20 minutes in.
I'm sure they'll switch off once the other cores get BKB. I'm not sure if maybe he's going to get one next. I would only think so with defensive item.
He's caught out No-Tail, out in the river, all alone. X-Nova there too. Cold Embrace will buy some time, but the ult comes out from X-Nova. Not messing around with No-Tail. There's some ice-on-ice action, brings down the Wyvern.
He's got a Shadow Blade. He seems to know exactly where Thompson is too.
Doesn't have a Quelling Blade.
Oh, he's bought it.
Oh, he's bought it now. He bought one. He's looking for the right tree. There's Thompson. He's going to go for it. They've got the jump. Jarex with the control again. Chalice, the punching bag in trouble as the Wukong's command gets the final hit. The Earth Splitter's coming out, but Thompson keeps himself to the side. He has been silenced by the Blood Bright Army. Looking towards him. The rupture down on Thompson as well. Thompson has the living armor. It gives him the chance to turn. Get the Jingle Mastery stacks up. He hasn't got boundless strike there for 7 seconds. The Fisher from Jarex buying him time. Thompson life stealing up as he hits the creeps. Army with the Shadow Blade looking to go. Somnus, he's in. Thompson still alive though. The Winter's Curse on his son's back, and Thompson gets the life steal, but he still goes down. Thompson will fall. Somnus still with man in the tank, ready to play around, zips across, gets Jarex as well. Now looks towards No-Tail. He's got enough mana for one more remnant. No-Tail turns with the Splinter Blast and the wraparound for Seth. Looks for the punch on Somnus. Somnus sits back defensively. They got the sentry down. Frost Nova, the buyback from Jarex. Ana with the chase down. Somnus. He's used a lot of his mana. The Fisher, the damage from Ana. He's got the dagger out. He looks at Somnus and he finds it. Somnus is gone. No-Tail burst down by the Blood Right. Jarex and Ana. They're looking for more. X-Nova enchants over Jarex. Holds him in place. One more right click will do it, and CM falls. Seth goes down as well to Arme. The sleep setup, FY. Stop. They've got the combo. The blood breaks out. And they're surrounded. The damage from Arme. The Fisher, but the force. They get him over. Arme still on the chase. Ana back to the shrine. Now Thompson's back in the game. Arme's got to be careful. Fisher's up. In a second, Jarex jumps in. The echo. The control. Ana's in on top of Arme. Arme's gone. Ana still wants to chase, he looks towards it. But he will back off for now. As ladies and gentlemen, OG and PSG LGD here in game 1 of the grand finals of TI8, certainly making it feel like it.
What a buyback from Jerax. Really just kind of saving that situation for them, which is looking kind of bad. Buys back, gets himself some big core kills, at least at the end of that one. Getting both that Storm and the Bloodseeker. Although they lost a lot of their support heroes, they kept their Spectre alive, which is the most important, as Ana is now level 14 for his team.
I forget who was talking about it on the panel, but they're just good about playing around Thompson, making sure that he gets his Jingu stacks. He's been critically low multiple times, but being able to separate them off with a fissure or just lifesteal off creeps and just making sure he gets his Jingu stack before he can actually go into the fight.
Look at this. Just with the synergy of the living armor, it actually makes a big difference. He's able to tank so much with living armor as well as the Wukong command on his armor.
And it seems like a tough core matchup versus the Bloodseeker. Like the Bloodseeker, you really want to fight a Monkey King. Normally, you're okay with a Blade Mail, but he has Jingu lifesteal to do with that, and then he also just can press his ultimate and not run away.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to worry about that at all.
And each time saw the backup of the living armor as well from Seb, just giving him so those extra few instances of being attacked to allow the time to build a lifesteal. Somnus, he's straight in onto Ana. Does he offer the damage on his own to find the kill? Though Ana pretty tanky at the moment, as Ana just turns and Somnus has to zip himself away.
Living armor. Every single time is coming out from Seb.
I mean, it's doing a lot, this Trian. It's keeping OG's cores alive against these sort of little pickoffs. And still, PSG LGD, they may be 6k ahead, but they're still only taking 1 tower down at the 23-minute mark. Seb's keeping the rest alive.
And Seb's already got his Meteor Hammer finished. He's got his, of course, that ulti's going to be coming out level 2 soon. So he's got the combo. They've got so many combos on OG if they're able to just sandwich it all together.
Yeah, they need the BKBs, but at the same time, they still have to deal with 2 ultimates that go through BKB and the Monkey King ultimate, which is still going to do a ton of damage. So LG, I mean, yeah, they do have the gold base guys. BKBs don't mean everything here.
Seb down bottom, just continuing to deal with the push by himself. The rest of OG starting to swarm over PSG LGD's half of the map. You have Thompson in the jungle. You've got Ana getting a lot of space up top, putting some pressure, in fact, onto PSG LGD's own tier 1 tower, which is falling very low on this top lane.
And he's got his Manta style. This is such an important pickup in this game, just so he doesn't get killed on those split push or have to deal with this Frostbite or silences coming out from the Bloodseeker and Storm.
Seb. There's 3 heroes down here at the moment from PSG LGD.
He's just spamming every single wave with Meteor Hammer, just keeping that living armor going on those tier 1s.
It's taking a lot of resources from PSG LGD down there, and they're not really getting away with what they want to achieve. Ideally, they find a kill, but Seb, he's playing very hidden. They don't seem to have the preparations to catch out the Trian.
OG's done just such a miraculous job of keeping these tier 1s alive. It's pretty crazy.
And they're also scared. Like at any time, the Monkey could be in the trees on bottom lane. They could set up with a Spectre.
And there he goes. He's thinking about popping the Wukong's command top, and he will. Looks towards X-Nova. X-Nova caught in the middle of the ring. And it comes over as well to join in the kill, and 3 of them find 1. TPs are coming in. Chalice. And he sets something up with Arme. Look at the jump here, under control. Jarek straight in on an Arme, and Arme pops the BKB, but it's too late. Somnus finds Notel on the side. The buyback's going to be there straight away from Notel. Somnus zipping across towards Jarek. The ult out from the CM, but the Meteor Hammer from Seb's coming down. They've got the chain stun onto X-Nova. Ana's still alive for now. They get the double kill, the Cold Embrace. Keeping Ana alive. The Winter's Curse holding by the attacks off the Chalice and charges from 5. He'll fall. Triple kill for Ana. Can he survive? He gets up to the high ground. He's still alive for now. The armor from Seb, keeping the Spectre safe. Thompson will fall though, dives too deep. Ana wants to find Somnus, pods the Manta style, they get the kill. It's an ultra kill for Ana, he's still alive. Chalice, he wants this, but can he actually get it? He's got to back off. Ana will TP out, and the definition there of friendship and team play from OG. These sort of saves from Notel's Wyvern, from Seb on the Trian Protector, it's incredible.
And their preparation too. They already had the sentry down behind the tower. Bloodseeker runs in with that Shadow Blade, gets caught out immediately from that fissure, as well as jump in as from Jerax.
And that was LGD's gameplay. They tried to take down bottom with 3 heroes versus 1. They couldn't do that. They tried to take a team fight mid. They weren't able to other BKBs up before the Echo Slam. How do you think they should take the next fight to make sure that they retain their lead, albeit small?
Name. He had trouble that last fight getting the BKB off in time with the speed that Jerax pounced upon him.
These saves are just so crazy.
I can't believe he didn't go down.
The BKB even went off too, so it ticks down to 9 seconds now, but these saves just back and forth, be it from the Cold Embraces, even the Curse to protect him in come-up situations. That right there, the overgrowth. Look at Ana. It looks like he's just dead in this situation over and over again.
As you said, the combination, the living armor, saving him for those first few rainbows coming in from Chalice, and then the cold embrace. They just couldn't kill him off. My goodness.
It's been so annoying for them, though.
Really has been.
And they also just sat on the root, too, for so long. They weren't able to finish him off. They had the leaf seed and the living armor and the cold embrace on top of it, and their urn. So many ways to heal. And LGD, I mean, they kind of need a spirit vessel, too.
It really does seem like that.
But I don't know who's going to build it.
I think it's... FY almost has it finished. So I did have the urn. He does tend to do this from time to time.
I think that might actually be a bigger deal to the BKBs on their side at this point, considering how much these saves are helping out a team team fight.
Radiant's bottom tower.
So it looks like PSG LGD will finally be able to find his tier 1 tower down bottom, but OG, they're into the pit, no tail, tanking up the Roshan with the cold embrace. The blood right will be thrown out by Arme. I suspect something's up. Jerax just keeping their eyes focused towards that mid lane, throwing down the Fissure, holding back the creep wave. Roshan's at half health.
They've got Elder Titan. They can keep scouting this over and over again with the Blood Rights too, pushing him back.
As Thompson going to start the fight. Here goes to the bandage truck to Arme. The BKB's out from Arme, though. Gets himself out of the Wukong's command. Anna with a horn finds X-Nova. That's one down, and Arme with his BKB, he's just having to run himself away from the fight. So now Arme is without the BKB. OG can look to head back in the bit. Jerax still with the Echo Slam. No Tail still with the Winter's Curse. Seb still with the Overgrowth. They have their team fights still ready to go, OG.
They're killing this so fast because the man
that challenge. All tries for it, but he's not going to get it in. Oh, straight in! They get the two with the slam! Oh, LGD tried to get in there with Somnus, but Jerax was quick with the jump.
That was an impossible jump. They even had the Meteor Hammer queued up for when it was about to die, so maybe they get the kill, but I don't think they get the Aegis, and they definitely don't get away with their lives.
They have everything. Like, OG still had all their ultis ready.
Yeah.
And Thompson, he's hunting for more. Knows that Arme doesn't have BKB for 20 seconds. He's got the dust, he's got the preparation. Jerax is in with the fish, they have the control. The enchant totem, Arme's gone! Not satisfied with just a Roshan. Thompson quick to hunt for more, getting that kill on Arme. Arme's out of the game for a full minute and he has not got buyback.
The teamwork and synergy by OG has been spectacular. It's a show of Thompson and Jerax constantly getting the control over and over again between these two heroes.
Whew. Who says you need to go late game with Spectre?
29 minutes in. Pressuring the base of LGD.
On his 12, 7, and 8 on the Spectre.
That's a tier 3 tower gone. They're onto the barracks. Somnus holding on to his buyback. He'll be back up in 5 seconds. FY trying to set something up. Does find the sleep onto the two. Then the cold embrace can be prematurely put down onto the Monkey King. They have the Earth Spirit out. Just Somnus zips in. The burst. He just rips the Monkey King apart. Can he find more? No, he's getting chased. Jerax with the control, but he gets back out. Somnus will survive just for now. The jump. They've got the impetus down. Jerax in again with the enchant totem. X-Nova, very low chalice with the play, looking for Anna with the cold embrace. Keeping Anna safe with the help. Somnus zips in. He wants Anna with a glimmer cape, keeping Anna alive. OG just saving one another and getting away with his pushes until now. Arme, he'll come in with the TP. He's looking to hunt down Anna. Anna has the living armor, goes for the TP out. He's going to make it. There's no way that Arme can cancel that as Anna gets out of there. Again, the Winter's Curse of No-Tail being used to hold back the disablers of LGD. No-Tail, he will pay with his life, but he did his job. He got Anna out of there.
These living armors, every time, just seems to be making such a big difference in every fight.
There's not enough damage also coming out throughout the cold embrace. I thought the impetus would be enough. Is that alone?
The hero creep.
Slowly but surely doing it.
It's not doing...
Actually, he's not doing it. He's doing less damage than the regen.
He's doing a little bit more damage in the regen, but it's going to take a long time. The creeps will spawn, and goodbye, hero creep.
Oh, X-Nova. Looking to get some information as he goes in deep with the Invis rune. OG, they're sending a mid. Again, their ults are up. They've got the Wukong's command. They've got the slam. They've got the horn.
4 siege creeps in the mid lane. Got to run them away.
But that's the first push. They still haven't done any damage to this full HP.
Well, this could be really big for the future setups too. OG actually still has a base that LGD does not know about.
And they've still got that Aegis on Anna, of course, with that save play being made. They can certainly look to try and push again. 5 seconds until No-Tail's back in the game on the Winter's Wyvern.
Killing the Spectre is seeming to be almost impossible now for LGD. Once he gets a heart on top of this too, he's got the 500 health talent from level 20. I don't know how they bring this man down. They're going to have to use everything onto the Spectre, and it's going to give so much freedom for Thompson in the fights, as well as Jerax.
Haven't really been feeling the impact of this Blood Secret. He was doing pretty well in the first 10 minutes, especially with the thirst, but He has BKB and he's still useless. He's number 2 on network, but he feels like he's like number 6.
He can't get into the fights, right? Like versus Monkey King, versus the Victor Wyvern, versus the Earthshaker as well. There's just too many things for him to actually deal with on this Bloodseeker.
And Somnus steps in, trying to clean out the creeps, but the creeps are going to be able to keep themselves alive for now. They'll jump in. Thompson with the BKB that we're supposed to find the Fisher on top of Chalice. Chalice is gone for 70 seconds, and he went full in on the Aghanim's purchase. He does not have money for buyback. Zipping from Somnus, looking to get himself on top of the Spectre. Can he finish up this kill? The Adder, he's going to be kept alive. The Urn Heal, he's fine. The Winter's Curse holding back Somnus. The dagger's out onto Somnus. Somnus has to zip back towards the base. Arme tries to go forward, but Jarek, in with the counterplay, jumps in, Echo's out. The barrel is strike for Thompson. They take down Arme. Arme buys back with the melee racks. They're already taken down in this middle lane by OG. They've got the FY sleep set up into the blood right. Anna with the Manta style. He's fine. More than fine as he gets out. Will start to be healed up by that Urn. Still has the Aegis. As OG now with a 5k lead and a melee racks up.
And add a heart now to that Aegis.
Oh yeah.
They do not have enough damage because they have to build these defensive items. I mean, I guess maybe hasn't really, but Bloodseeker, there's no way to kill him. Maybe if he turned that into a Silver Edge, or maybe had a Halberd to deal with his Monkey King, but there's BKB just actually feels. It's one of those game if you do, bam if you don't.
Yeah, there's just too much control and team fight on the side of OG. And they're just way too tanky right now for LGD.
Yeah, and if you try and go for pickoffs, you never really know where the tree is, and the Spectre can haunt in, so they're also really scared to go down that route to try and take this victory.
Yeah, they've got it's just so many different forms of initiation on the side of OG that LGD, their initiation is that the Storm has to run in and try to start the fight, and then poor Ame, tries to run with the BKB, but there's just crazy amount of control that goes through it. So maybe with this Manta style, he can try to play around it a little bit better once he finishes this on the Bloodseeker.
Chalice looks like he's eyeing for a Lotus Orb mix. Do you like this choice?
Oh, Thompson
can reflect a decent amount of spells and also remove
straight in.
Himself, but
finds F1 and then pop the ult as well. X-Nova's going to TP in.
That's the gem.
They just got the gem too.
And they're buying back on FY. PSG LGD desperately want to try and take this fight somehow. They know Thompson's Wukong's command is about to wear off. He'll jump himself back to the side. He's back up to the trees. There's the Winter's Curse holding back the 2 of the Manas in. They're ready to fight this OG despite PSG LGD being the ones buying back into it. Jarek's in with the stun control. They'll burst down Arme. Arme's down for 90 seconds. Chalice is dropping as well as the orb from Anna comes out, splitting LGD apart. Anna into the trees, looks towards FY, steps back to avoid the Echo Storm. Chalice still being chased out by Thompson. One more swipe will do it. They get Chalice. They get FY, and Somnus and X-Nova just left to try and pull the creep wave away. He'll zip across for Jarek with the Echo Snap. The Orchid comes out onto the Shaker. They're trying for the return, but the self-fuels keeps Jarek's alive. He's safe. Somnus trying to run. Fisher, Boundless strike. Do they have the damage in time? They do! Oh, gee! Again and again and again in this game 1. Pulling off these incredible plays. And GG is called, ladies and gentlemen. OG taking game 1 of this best of 5 in the 2008 International Grand Finals.
What teamwork by OG. Every little thing coming together. The Earthshaker and the Monkey King, just the control coming between them, and just the way that they were able to stall the pushes out. The Wyvern always being there set up on those early tier 1s. This living armor constantly